chess again. Little bit of a hiccup at the beginning of the stream there, but I think we're all good now. So I guess we should get into it. I'm going to do some chess today, and I think I'll start off with a little bit of a game review from last night's game. So let me just bring up my profile. I played a very interesting game, and I want to share it. I want to share my ideas. Anyone can comment, tell me if my ideas are a little bit off here. But play the perk defense, and the reason for this move is to stop him from coming down here, and I bring my knight out. Knight out, push the bishop up, fianchetto, castle is the start of the game. Now he goes here, and usually when people go here, they want to bring their queen here, is my understanding, and they want to bring their bishop down and trade off the bishops. They want to get rid of my powerful piece, and they want to keep their attack going. Let's see if YouTube is streaming. I had a little bit of trouble setting up this morning, as is tradition. Let's just get that chat up. There we go. So, my understanding is they just want to trade off the bishop. And then if I castle there and they come in and trade off the bishop, that's no good. So I go with this idea here. And the idea is to push the pawn, attack the knight, and when the knight leaves, take this pawn with my knight. So he goes here, and I think that's a mistake. I think it's a mistake, but I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, he's stopping me from going here, but I would have thought maybe going there was better. So if he goes here, I come up. And at least if I push here now, he can take, I take, and then the rook takes. So I would have thought that would have been better than doing this weird pawn move. Now I can take here, but I don't see the advantage of taking. Rather develop and defend at the same time. And then I don't know the point of this move. What's he doing there? Gets the queen on that diagonal, I guess. I'm not sure what he was going for here. Maybe he wants to bring the queen up to one of these two squares. But now that he's given up on this idea of bringing the queen here, only now do I find it okay to castle. So yeah, he's connected these, but I don't really, like with the pawn in the way, it doesn't really make any sense. Plans to reroute the knight, opening up that pressure again, and he goes back here. So he could have always gone here in the first place, but I think here would have been best. Now we've got some sort of ideas coming up. He could have just taken there, and then I take here, and then he takes here, and then I push, he takes, I take, and then the bishop had to move, and then I come through and take the rook. Cryptic Knife, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah. And this here is a mistake because the queen is overloaded. And then, yeah, from here, the game is pretty much won. I do get into time trouble, though. And just one more interesting part. He threatens checkmate now. He does have here. So if the rook was to go here, for example, if rook was to disappear, I think I'd be in trouble. But yeah. Then I do blunder. I do blunder right here. But now it's just a case of winning on the clock. So not the greatest game, but still a fun game regardless. So I felt like I had some good ideas in the opening. I'm just interested to know if this is a good move or not. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and then we'll get into some puzzles. So, oh, there it is. So yeah, that was a mistake. What was best? What about this? That was a good move. So that was bad, that was good, and this was great. Good to know. Alright, let's get into some puzzles. Alright. We're going to do survival, and we're going to see how high we can go today. Our top score is 68. Yesterday we only got 47. Had some interesting ones yesterday. Alright, checkmate in 1. Checkmate in 2. Checkmate in 1. Promote the queen, checkmate in 1. Get checkmate in 2 if they don't take. Checkmate in 1. Checkmate in 1. Checkmate in 2. Checkmate in 1. Checkmate in 1. Checkmate in 1. What do we get here? Checkmate in 1. And do we have checkmate in 1 here? We've got checkmate in 2. And free piece? Not quite. So takes, it's good. Takes, take with the pawn is good. What do we got here? We've got a checkmate in 1. And here we've got a fork into a checkmate in 2. Just take. Taking is equal. Take with a threat. Could be better because it comes with a fork. And what do we got here? What do we got here? That's not a fork, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. If we push here, and he goes here, we go here. And if we push here and he goes here, we go here. Not quite checkmate yet, but it will be, but it won't be. So I was looking at check, goes up, check, comes back down. I don't have a good check after that yet. What do we got here? So check, he goes up, kind of want to do here. Check. Goes up, check, comes down, and then rook across. There we go. Still waking up. Queen went to defend b5. Might be a little bit of a delay on that message, but welcome. And what do we got here? We got a check. Not seeing it yet. Check. Moves across. Check. Has to take. Check. Alright, on the next difficult one we will stop and we'll set up the board. Actually, we'll set up the board on this one. I'm not saying it's difficult. I'm not saying it instantly. BWK, how you doing today? Welcome. That should be enough time for the board to turn on. Alright, let's have a look. So this one's black to move. So, first, oh, where did my board go? Oh, where did it go? 1 second. Just get those back. There we go. So the first thing that comes to mind is popping the queen over there. But then he goes here, and I don't see anything good after that. So I'm scrapping that idea and I'm looking at here first. Now if it goes here, then I do have here, so that's a little bit better, but I'm still not seeing anything after here. Take. I'm just not seeing that. I'm not seeing this one. Okay, there it is. There it is. So it is here. Take, goes up here, and then the bishop comes over here for a check. If he goes here, then the queen comes up here. most popular person on earth says it's easy. And it is. It is easy. Oops, gotta connect the board on the next one. And then up here. And now let's reconnect the board. And this one's going to be black to move as well. Okay, this one's pretty easy too. Queen takes, knight takes, rook takes, and then we take here. Now, queen takes, rook takes, we take back, and then the knight takes. That's the only one I'm not sure about. But either way, it is a check, and our only options are to block or to capture, so we're going to capture. And our only option here is to capture. And now we got two options. Well, we got two options here. Going down here just keeps two defenders on the rook. That was a pretty weird puzzle in the sense of we were just being forced.
Exquisite vibes, sir.
Thank you very much. Welcome, nice to see you here. We're just chilling, doing some puzzles, trying to get better at a very, very tough game. All right, this one is going to be white to move. And if you were here yesterday, we went over a puzzle where it's checkmate in 7 and the bishop covers this square here. So we do have knight here, and once they capture, the queen can come across, and the king is trapped by his own pieces. Thank you for the follow. Alright, the placement of the king. It's very unfortunate. So I'm going to tunnel vision on trying to get to the king. And straight away, I can see that rook here. And he can't come up, he can't get out, and there's no checks on our king. If rook here, that would be a mistake because he could come in and defend. I mean, you could come in and defend anyway, but it just delays it by a move. Ichu Lumbro, 2 for 2, well done. Welcome.
What is that magic? Magic.
We've got a little chestnut move going on here. All right, what do we got here? All right, so material is equal. I am focusing on some sort of weird checkmate that's not going to happen. I'm also focusing on discovered attacks. Now, that's just a free piece. So queen takes, knight takes, rook takes, king takes, and we're up a knight, a bishop, and a rook versus a knight and a rook. I'm just trying to see if it's any better. He's got no check here. Yeah, obviously taking with the knight is no good because queen takes, rook takes, and then rook takes. But I think taking with the queen, I'm not seeing anything better here. So that's what I'm going to go with. Unheard, welcome. Yeah, got to take with the queen. Black to move. Something didn't set up on here. What didn't set up? We're missing a rook. Where's that rook? There he is. In you go. Okay. So straight away seeing the not discovered attack. What do we got here? So black to move. Oh, okay. Boom. Skewer. I don't see any downside here. King moves, take the queen, and then he doesn't have any good checks. He has moves, but we have a queen. So this one's going to take a bit to set up, so I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take this knight, and then going to give him a check. And then we'll move on to the next puzzle. Because if I can solve it really quick before it has a chance to finish setting up, then I'm going to do it. Let this one set up. I'm seeing bishop here. Has to come across. Bishop here. He has to come across. And then queen here. And he has to come up. So I think, let me just have a look at this one. Well, there's no time to delay because he's got checkmate on the next move. So I think we have to bring the bishop across. Not queen a8, no. So this one didn't let me finish the puzzle. So while the next one sets up, let's have a quick look. So take queen a8, king goes up somewhere. And then our queen is under attack. So we have to take this rook over here to avoid checkmate, or we have to move back somewhere. But that kind of gives him an opportunity to get out. Instead, we went here, and let's just analyze this board. So take, across, here, across. And this is the problem. I don't see the finishing moves for the checkmate. Rook e1. So I was actually going to go up here. Rook e1. And it's made in 9. We all see that, right? Made in 9. I don't see it. Okay, straight away, looking at this board, we've got some sort of discovered attack. Yep. Very important to go over here because it stopped the king from getting in there. How much does this board cost? Around 650 US. I'm using the one with wooden pieces. However, there's also one with plastic pieces, which will be a little bit cheaper. Okay, this one wins a queen. That's what I see so far. There might be better, but I think it's winning a queen. If anyone's interested in this board, you can always check out my website. I've put it up on screen now. Each of those boards there, you can click on them and it will take you to either how to purchase them. It will also take you to video reviews that I've done for all of them, as well as tutorials on how to use them to get better. I've also got a discount code on there so you can get the best price. All right, let's have a look at this one. So what I saw here was queen here, king is forced to go across, and then the knight comes in here and forks the king and the queen. I don't see much better than that, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, this one is black to move because I've got a white to move, and straight away I'm looking at this move here as being a bad move because we're going to lose our queen, but we're actually black in this one. Okay, standard checkmate pattern. We can actually take the rook and the king comes across. And then we've got a double check. Remember, the double check, they can only get out of check by moving. They can't block, they can't capture. Unless the piece is like right next to them, they can't capture. So it's gonna have to be a king move. So take, check, and then wherever the king goes, then the rook will come up, and that's a checkmate. So even if the rook went over, even if the king went over here, it would still be checkmate. This is a cool one. George, welcome. Thank you for the follow. All right, so this one here. I'll just flip the board around. This one here, straight away you notice the diagonal. The queen can come in here, and then the king would come back up here. Now, if this pawn wasn't here, we could actually just repeat moves if we wanted, but it's actually better. So check comes up here, and then sacrifice the knight. Now he can't get out because the queen is covering both exit squares, so we have to take the pawn, and then the queen can come up here, and that's a checkmate. Bruno, welcome. This board is from Chessnut. I'll put my website up on screen if you want to check it out. You can go to this website, and thank you for the follow, by the way. Go to this website. I've done reviews on all of these boards, and there's also a link to get the board too if you want. I do have a code on there that you can use to get you the best price. All right, this one's white to move. Okay, got it. Did we get it? Nice and quick. Yeah, it should be in my bio. Wiggy.com, W-H-I-G-G-I. All right, so we can take, that's check. He can't capture, so he's got to move, and that's a checkmate. This one is white to move. Straight away I'm looking at queen to g4, king to e8. We can't go to e7 yet because of bishop. So the bishop here is keeping an eye on that square. So if we go here, they go across, we can't go up because we lose our queen. And then I look at doing the same thing, but this time check, and he has to go across here, and then you can actually go up here, and the bishop is covering that escape square, and that's a checkmate. Did I say queen to g4? I meant queen to g5. I'm 1700 FIDE, but I'm slightly inactive, so I'm not really sure what I would be. This one's a black to move. Okay, knight f3 looks good. Discovered double check. So check. He has to move. He can only go here. And then the rook comes up. Then he goes here. I mean, that looks right, but I'm not seeing the exact checkmate. One sec. So check. Here. Push. Goes there. Okay. Oh, I'm not seeing the... I'll see if I can work on it, Bruno. I'll see if I can get that going. That would be cool. Actually, I think I can get that going. I know how to do that. I'll do it for you. All right, so Yeah, because I think I actually did that by accident anyway. So check. Check. Excuse me. Excuse me. Check. Oh, just take the free piece. Check and take rook with check, yeah. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Always blame the coffee. I mean, just endgames aren't my strong point, but I'm looking just at in and in. Seems fine. In, king goes over here, king goes here, and then he's in Zugzwang. But then he goes here, and then I go here, he goes here, I go here, he goes there, I take, and then I'm winning. Well, I'm always winning. No snacks, no snacks, just a coffee. Absolutely hate being in positions like this where their king sort of has a center, but I do like being in winning positions, so it's a trade-off. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Are we going to hit 500 followers today? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, we are. We're at 495. 5 to go. I see you all in there. Someone's not followed. Make sure you hit follow. I always miss this. It's just simply a G8 to C8. No. We got checkmate, my guy. Check. Double check. So he has to do a king move. And if he goes here, we've got a ladder mate. And if he goes here, we get a queen. But we may not even... Yeah, we want the queen. Yeah, we want the queen. This price of this board is around 650. I think it's around 590 if you get it with plastic pieces instead of wooden pieces. You can always check out my website, wiki.com. I've got tutorials on how to use it. USD. I've got tutorials on how to use it, also reviews of all the boards. I'll pop it up real quick. All the boards you see on screen now, I've done reviews and tutorials on. Okay, I'm looking at this, can't see it, then I realize I'm on the wrong color. White to move. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Okay, this one's a fork. So, look, 650 could be a lot. It depends where you are. It depends what your situation is. But if you're looking for a board all of these boards here range from different prices. So you got the Go, which is a little tiny magnetic travel board. That one's going to be cheap. And then it goes up from there all the way up to the Pro, which is like a premium tournament size, tournament standard board. Not tournament legal, but it's an e-board. But it's a tournament size board. And you can customize the pieces. So everything is a little bit different, and it's all about picking the right board for you. Well, you got a very easy currency to convert it to. You just add a 0. Which board is my favorite?
Which board is your favorite?
I would say it's a tie between the Pro and the Move. I use the Move a lot, and I'm talking a lot, because I do a lot of puzzles. But when I'm doing a long time control game, like a 90-minute plus 30, I would be going for the Pro, because I like that tournament feel. I like to feel like I'm on one of the top boards in a tournament, rather than being on one of the bottom boards where I normally am. So, Bruno is correct. It is knight here. And then after they take the pawn, we've got queen over here. Queen over here, forks the rook and the king. I'm disappointed about that one I got wrong at level 35. Because I knew it. I knew it was, I knew there was something wrong about it. I couldn't find the end goal and I just moved. This one here, I see a pin straight away. Is the pin enough though? That's the question. So we've got, well, let me flip it around first. We're actually down a rook here. So the pin isn't enough, but it could be. So pin, push, and then kick away. And the king has to go somewhere else, and then we can take the rook for free. And then we are actually winning because we're up 3 pawns. Yeah, we're up 3 pawns. But bishop here and knight here. Now, check first doesn't really work for me, because they can move out of check somehow, and then we no longer get the pin. Now, so I think it needs to be a g4 first, establish the pin, and then put pressure on the pin. Okay. And then after the knight takes, we actually have rook here, defended. So check now is correct, because we need to kick the king away from the rook. And then we actually have this move here. So we take the rook, and then we give the check. That was a good one. That was a good one. It's good when they start getting you to think creatively, like, okay, I can get the pin, but the problem is the king is still going to defend it. How do I kick the king away? and then the problem is he brings another piece in, and then, you know, that's a good one. White to move. So what do I usually use the board for all rounds of Puzzle Rush? No. For the first 20, I can literally do the first 20 in about 30 seconds to a minute. So I don't need to set up the board for multiple checkmate in ones. So I'll do the first 20 on the computer using my mouse, and then for the usually around 20 to 30 is when I start turning on the board, because they start getting a little bit more tricky. For example, this one here, I'm seeing check with the bishop, but I'm not really seeing any follow-up after here. In fact, the bishop kind of blocks my rook from joining in. So yeah, I'm looking at the rook sack now. So blocking the rook didn't feel ideal, but actually rook up here, queen takes, and then queen here. And then how does he deal with the bishop? That's the question. Mr. Scones, welcome back. It's great to see you again. Welcome.
Hey, how's the stream going, man?
Stream's good. Stream's good. It's definitely getting better each time. Instead of taking the rook with the queen, d takes f7. D takes f7. Huh. Good idea, wrong move order. Check. Oh, not check. Attack. Take, and then they come down here. Of course, Mr. Scones, great hint. Good idea, wrong move order. It's not sack the rook, it's sack the queen. Queen takes, and then rook comes up here, and if he tries to get out, now we've got check. That's brilliant. Queen takes a7, then rook d8, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, we're at level 40, and we're at, I think, 496 followers now, trying to get to 500 today. So if anyone is interested in seeing more of this in the future, I do stream every day at around this time. And when I say every day, I just lied to you. I stream most days at this time. I like to give myself one day off every now and then. So feel free to hit follow if you want to see more. I do have some good content coming up over the next month or so. A lot of that will be on YouTube, but a lot of that will be on here as well. So make sure you hit follow if you want to see more of that. And this one here is black to move. So what I'm looking at, Bruno, good luck. Good luck in your test tomorrow. All three of them. Yes. Knight to f4. Holds off these two squares. All they can really do is attack with the rook, and then we can just sort of dance away. And eventually the rook is coming in here. This one's going to be white to move. So the very first move I'm looking at is bishop c5. Says it's made in 3. I definitely don't doubt that. So bishop to b5. Okay. So bishop to b5. If king up here, then queen here, bishop here, and queen takes. Let me just check everything else. Bishop b5, then if king here. Bishop blocks, queen takes is one idea, or if we go here, and then queen goes here. Oh, you found something different. Bishop there. What did you find that was different? Bishop to g5 maybe? Bishop to g5. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at bishop to g5. Bishop g5. It's more forcing. So he goes here. Oh, okay. Yeah. So bishop to g5, he goes up. This doesn't work because he goes here, but bishop to g5 goes up, and we've got the same pattern. Definitely a lot cleaner. All right, white to move. Benny, welcome. How are you? So I was looking at rook here. Queen takes. He has to move. That might be winning. Bishop b3. Queen takes. We don't have anything good here because the king can get out now. So bishop b3. Queen takes. I'm not seeing it. I have to believe harder in bishop b3. Alright, let us believe. You know what? No, I'm not going to believe in your bishop b3. What about here? What about here? Shackman, welcome. From the Netherlands, welcome. Here. They move. Here. They go here. We go here. Here. That's disgusting. Bishop takes. Check. Here. Defends. Here. Push. Here. Mate. So he does have g5, but then we can push the pawn forward. That is disgusting, yeah. I wouldn't have found that in the game, I don't think. I would have been too focused on trying to win the queen. This one's black to move. I was looking at two options here. Queen H1. Just need to clarify Queen H1 and that's it. Justify. No, I can't justify that. But check. And check. Mate. Not seeing the Queen H1 idea. Jeez. There is that there. Alright, so let's try and justify sacrificing the Queen. Win a pawn. Win a Queen. Attack a Bishop. Win a pawn. Win a Queen and attack a Bishop. Queen H1. Queen H1. King takes. Knight F2. King G2. Knight E4. Bishop takes C6. Knight takes C3. And we're up a knight and a bishop versus a bishop. Oh, I'm looking at the easy checkmates, which aren't even checkmates. White to move. I have no idea what you are talking about, Kitsy. Is this a trick? Is this a trick, an opening trick? Push, take, push, move, push. And then they go back. And then you go here. Is this a trick? Is this a... Benny. Yeah, it's I actually think I was watching a video the other day, one of the old Naroditsky videos, and he actually showed this actual trick. I believe he said it's now losing on the spot. So takes, and the knight has to move, and when the knight moves we push, and then they go here, and then we go here. Whoops, here. I don't know. Maybe I'll Google that later. Yeah, so I think that last tactic is a very good one. Very good little opening trap. I don't know. Maybe I'll play a game today. We'll see how we go. If this run finishes early, maybe I'll do a game to finish off the stream. I played a game last night. I won. It finished my. So this one's Maiden 3. I finished
M3.
He's straight onto it. I finished off last night. I finished off my losing streak.
Really, it's an M2 idea, but he blocks and then is mated.
See, I hate that whole it's got to be made in 3 sort of thing. Like, it's the pointless block is kind of annoying. The black to move. So straight away, I'm looking at queen to f1 check. Yeah, queen to f1 check. I see what you mean with the block. Queen to f1 check. He takes. We've got a sort of Anastasia's mate going on here. We go up here, he goes here, and we block. Now what happens if he goes here? Well, then it's made in 4. So we go here, he goes back, and then we go up here anyway, and then he goes here, and then we take. So is it made in 4 actually? 1, 2, 3. Aha. Oh, okay, rook h3. Good catch, good catch. So if you had have gone here, we would have gone here. Imagine getting the puzzle wrong just because you gave him an extra few moves to get the checkmate. Oh, that's tough. All right, so white to move. I was going to say, did we settle for winning a piece, but this doesn't win a piece because after he moves, we take, but he actually has block and... Oh, then we still take. Is that it? Just win a knight? Queen h5, king g7, queen takes g4, forking, okay. What if he goes here? You've got to come back, and then he goes here. So if we go here, he goes back. Yeah. So I think just winning the piece. So what are we doing material-wise? We're down 2 pawns. We're down 1 pawn. Oh, no, because he can block. He can block, so that's no good. So it's between here and here. Yeah, I don't think f4 is a move because he just blocks. And I don't know if this is a move because king f8. And the attack is over. So I feel like it is this move here. I was a little bit hesitant because we are down 2 pawns, but then you realize that you're actually going to win. Whoops. You're actually going to win more pawns after it anyway. This one's black to move. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Rook H1 is one that I'm looking at. Rook H1. But he's got 2 options. He can move or he can take. So let's explore taking first. Rook H1, Queen here, block. And then we don't really have anything. And then Rook here. And he still blocks. The other alternative was he just walks away. So I'm not seeing Rook H1 yet. What I'm looking at, thank you for the follow. What I'm looking at is here. Some people are saying Rook H to G5. Rook here. And then what? Take. Oh, he wants a queen, okay. Take. Okay. So just put pressure on this piece. If he takes, we take. And then king here. How's material? 2 rooks. We're down a piece. I'm gonna try it. Yep. See, I was looking at this move next. And the reason is if they take, we get pinned, and it also opens the bishop, but the knight is there. queen here, threatening this, and then when he moves up, we might have something like that. That would be devastating. Yeah, I think the pawn push is definitely something to look at. If he takes, then we win the queen. And he moves somewhere. I can't see it not being the pawn push, to be honest. Back in a sec. Yeah, queen takes f3 definitely made it easier. Definitely made it easier. Alright, white to move. So one thing that I do notice is that they've got this check here, so I've got to be very careful. Definitely needs to be a sequence that can be done. So I'm looking at queen here, knight blocks, and then I was looking at knight here and then king here, and then I was looking at rook here. Now the knight covers these squares, and the king will have to go here. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. And thank you for the follow. All right. Queen A8. Knight blocks. Knight A7. King to D7. Instead of rook here, we also have rook here. Okay, and then he blocks, we take, he takes, and then we take the knight here, which is undefended, getting rid of the checkmate threat. And then here. And now here. And now here. No, I can't see the profile picture on there. What do we got? What do we got? What is that? What is that picture? Bruh. Alright. Alright. Okay, so it's white to move, so black had some interesting threats going on. But we've got something going on ourselves. Okay, I don't think this one's that hard. Check, goes here, checkmate, check, goes here, check, oops, check, goes here, check, he goes here, check, he goes somewhere, and then checkmate. I don't know. I'm not seeing the full win there, so I'm going to look at other stuff. For Queen E8, he has to block. I'm not seeing that either. So, check, block, knight e7, king comes up. We're not taking f8 because then king could take it, because he's still defending the bishop. Queen e7, bishop up, knight e7 is not checkmate. If the king has two squares he can get to. If he goes here, then it would be checkmate. But because he goes here, it defends the bishop which is on the f8 square. So yeah, he's got no, it's not checkmate after you take the bishop because we've got check and then knight here, and the king can come down the board. Knight e7, king h8, rook d8, bishop f7, rook takes, king here, rook g8 defended, king f6, knight back to d5, g5, queen f4, king h5, queen moves to f6, and queen takes f6. Made in 11. We're going spending way too long. I had knight e7 as my first move, and then I just went way out of there. While the next position sets up, guys, if you are new here, make sure you hit follow. I will be streaming most days at around this time. Got a lot of good content coming up over the next month or so, both on YouTube and TikTok. We are black to move. Hello, hello.
With this board you can play online matches.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I might play an online match after we do this puzzle rush.
Hi sir, where did you buy that board?
You can get this board by visiting my website here. I've done reviews on all of these boards, so if you want to see any of these boards and see what they're about, just click on the image there and you'll be able to see my reviews. I've also done tutorials on how to use some of these boards to get a little bit more value out of them, and by a little bit I mean a lot more value. And speaking of value, I do have a code on there which will get you the best price. That's wiggy.com/chessnut. And the board I'm using is the Chessnut Move. I'm using the wooden pieces, and if you want to save some money, you can always get the plastic pieces as well. All right, so we are black to move. Okay, so this one here, that would be nice to get that, but it doesn't work because the rook is there. So takes, attack, defended by the knight, and then let's say the move here. Now we can get what I wanted in the first place. Seems okay. Material, we are equal. I guess take here, and then they go here. Oh, they can't go there because of the bishop, so they have to go here or somewhere, and then we go up there and we're threatening that, and there's no way to defend it. That looks good to me. Maybe. Kitsy, what's your rating? White to move. White to move. Alright, white to move, and straight away when I turn the board around, I notice I've got a discovered check. Now, I've got two ways to get out of the check. And the first way is here, but then he has this check. And the second way is here, but then he has a discovered check of his own. Oh, and then I have a discovered check. Oh, disgusting. So maybe it's here. Maybe it's here and use my discovered check. Yeah, I saw that straight away. So queen here, and then he gets queen f1, and then queen, what do you say, g3, and then queen g1. Yeah, but here, he doesn't have any checks with the queen. He's got this check here, but then I win a bishop. So he does any sort of random check, and we actually get check here. He goes here, and then we go here. That looks good to me. Got to be take with the king, right? Alright, we're at 52. Yesterday we only got to 47, so we're doing a lot better. Black to move. I mean white to move, white to move. No, black to move. Okay, so it's very important not to let him take this pawn, because if we do something like that, he's got check, and even if we block, check, and then yeah, disaster. My initial thought is one of these two checks. Paragon, welcome, welcome. Queen f2, queen c2, queen c5. Doing a little bit of a journey there. So check, block, check, block, check, takes. I'm not seeing it. Queen f3, queen f4, and then queen to d5, and they block. You go here. I don't know. Does this board connect with Android? Yes, it does.
Does that connect on Android?
It connects to Android, iOS. I've got it connected to my laptop right now. So I guess all Bluetooth devices. I've got it connected to my laptop. I'm using a third-party developer to connect it to my laptop. They do have official app, and I think it does connect to Bluetooth as well. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Undefended piece. Fair enough, Milan. Undefended piece. If I can get a queen here to attack the rook and the king. So if I go check, they go here. How do I get here? So check, block, check, block, check, take. Okay. I mean, check, he can just go there straight away too. So check, block, check, take, check, check, here, check, block, check. Is that it? I think that's it. Check, has to block, check. It's got two options. One is go here, go down here, and the other is go here. We go down here as well, and then he comes down, and then we can take with the pawn then. There we go. What? Alright, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I could have sworn that was it. So, let's try it again. Is this where it went wrong, or did it give me a... Okay, so... Oh. What? But that's... But... That pawn is ready to promote. No. No. Yes. Take. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. I'll have a look at that one again at the end. See if I can do it at the end, because I was way off. Okay, so we're down a piece in this one. But that's a fork. We could just take the rook, or we could do another check. We could do another check. So I think the first move is here. When a pawn, he has to go here, and then I can take with check anyway, and he goes here, and then I can take here, and then if the queen takes, I can go here, and then the bishop takes, and then I go here, and I fork the queen and the king. That seems pretty good. Was I just meant to take the rook? Was I just meant to take the rook? No, okay, so I wasn't meant to take the rook, so I was way off on both. Am I just meant to take... Oh, because I threatened to checkmate. So, check. And that threatens to checkmate. So he has to come back and blocked. And then take. Alright guys, shout out your rating. If you want to have a game, I'll pick somebody. Kitsy, send me a friend request. Username is Wiggy, WHIGGI. Yeah, I can sync the board with the game. I'm going to play a game now with the board. Paul, thank you for the follow.
What happens if you make an illegal move?
If you make an illegal move, depending on which app you're using, it will either move the piece back to where it should be, or it will just tell you on the board that a piece is on the wrong square. So when I'm using the regular app, it will move it back, but because I'm using a third-party developer, it will tell me it's on the wrong square and I'll have to move it back myself.
Is the board worth it? I was thinking about grabbing one. What happens if you make an illegal move? Is the board worth it? I was thinking about grabbing one.
Sorry for doing that twice. Is the board worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you do a lot of tactics, it's definitely worth it.
Let's play a weird line.
The moment I started playing, it was a weird line to me. So, yeah. I'm lost. Yeah, Paul, if you're curious about it, make sure you check out my site, make sure you check out my channel, because I have done a lot of reviews and tutorials on these boards, and I've done a lot for this board in particular. So yeah, make sure you check those out. Will help you make up your mind if it's the right board for you. No, not all the boards on my site are like this one. This is the only one that has some moving pieces. That's why it's called the Move. Yeah, so all the boards on my site, they're all like, they all serve a different purpose. Some are travel boards, some are tournament style boards, some are a little bit smarter than the other type boards. And this one, the feature on this one is that it has some moving pieces. So yeah, check them all out and see which one is the right one for you if you're interested in one of these boards. Hello, Tony. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. What do we got here? How hard is it to sync up the board? Not at all. Not at all. It's very easy. It comes with an app that you can just connect straight to it. I downloaded some software so I can connect on my computer. It's very easy.
If today is your last day, what do you gonna do?
Probably just play more chess. I don't know. I don't think it's my last day. I... Mr. Scones, what's your rating? I mean, we can give it a go. I'm only 1400 blitz, so, but I'm not playing blitz because just can't keep up with it. think the saddest part about that opening is no matter whenever I play the King's Indian Defense against Fianchetto, I always manage to get at least one piece trapped over here. GG. I always manage to get one piece trapped. And not only that, like, I just had no plan, I had no idea what was going on. Let's have a look. So, the moment you went here, I felt like you were going to go for this type of thing. Maybe this is the point where I change my plan a little bit and find something different to do. Because yeah, I just don't know how to break in. Because typically King's Indian Defense, you get something good going up the side here. Here, I had no idea. I wanted to bring it back here, but I was worried about sort of pushing or even doing something like that. And same here. I'm not keeping the bishop if I have to keep running him around. I don't think taking is the right idea either, so. This is just ugly. I wanted to do a pawn break. Take. Takes. Do I have anything here? Do I have it? No, I don't. Do I? Take. Just doesn't look good. So here, my idea was then to go here next, but then I was getting worried about it not working. I wanted to get something going here, but I couldn't find anything. I felt like that was a mistake. More pressure on my pieces. And here. So I think my knight should have gone back here originally. I need to take. By pushing this, yeah. So pushing this was a mistake. Because if I leave it there, take, and the bishop comes in. So maybe taking here was better, maybe there was something better than that too. Just running out of ideas here. I knew the knight was lost. I figured if I could at least get your king to the center. I mean, I don't really have anything here. It's just ugly. Ugly. And yeah, now I'm losing this. I'm losing that. That's under attack. That's under attack. I don't see any need to play on here. I want to play the king.
When I play King's Indian, I don't develop my light squared bishop. Instead I play NVD7 for E5.
Knight BD7 for E5. Okay. And then play up here next. You know what? I think I've fallen into a really bad habit of going off like old opening videos that I saw. For example, that would have been good. But yeah, maybe it would have been good, I'm not sure.
Not sure what comp will say, but you usually play c6 so you can play qc7.
So I was ideas of that. And when I talk about getting my queen trapped in the past, my pieces trapped, I actually played a tournament game where I did this and my queen got trapped in the corner. I've had a very, very bad run against this King's Indian defense with the Fan Shadow. Very bad run. Alright, let's have a look at the game review. I suspect I'm losing even from... What move are we on now? What move are we on? Can't see what move we're on. I suspect I'm losing even from here. Even from here, maybe even... Yeah, maybe even here. And it all just went downhill. Look at that, look at that. Just a nice beautiful curve upwards. 95 to 82. Okay. So E5 now. What if he goes here? Ah. So E5 was good. I think that's one thing that I definitely, after C6, D5, yeah, I think pawn breaks is one thing that I have a lot of trouble with too, identifying when to do a good pawn break. So, good move, better move. Yeah, bad move here. Should have just gone there. What about here? Yeah, it's just all over here, and that was a... Doesn't even have it as a blunder, it's just an inaccuracy. Yeah, just completely lost after that. Completely lost out of the opening. So the opening... Yeah. Sad day. Sad day. Reset the board. Yeah, no, that's a fine game. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not too disappointed myself there. It was a case of you know, learning something you don't know.
That's why early breaks are important. DWDW losing equals learning.
Why? What happened? Nah, it's got to be rated. Has to be rated. Don't worry, I'm a 1700. Got to be rated. Always got to be rated. I'll play you as a Blitz unrated if you want. Disconnect the board since we're displaying Blitz. Oops, that gave up a piece. I could have gone there. was it? I'm not the best at blitz. I'll have to have a look earlier, see if I can find it. You've told me what the move is, but I don't. Oh, I missed that. Didn't see that move. Good game. Good game. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. How'd I miss that? How'd I miss that? That's like... That's basic stuff, man. How'd I miss that? That's disappointing. Check. I honestly thought I had something going on here. Instead of, well, I had to do that move. Yeah, I thought I had the win here after this. That's where the tactics training come in. all of the wins from those brilliant tactics, but we missed the basic ones. I think instead of here, I should have gone here. Threatening, something like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Maybe not. But yeah, this was just too good, too good. Yeah. Kitsy, I'm definitely going to take you up on that offer. Look at that, look at that. Missed mate in 1. And then this must be the bishop move down here. Look at that. It even makes a little sound effect for you. Look at that. So I am winning again here. Oops. And that's a mistake. Taking the queen is a mistake. Oh, okay. Get my queen out of the way. And then what? Is it going to tell me what to do after? I ain't taking that. I'm taking the free queen. Should have taken it. Take. Alright, so it's still going to end up around the same anyway. Alright guys, I 2 losses today. I mean, they were fine losses because they're against much stronger players, but still 2 losses. Got a lot of work to do if I ever want to get back to 1900. I am going to call it a day now. Thank you all for joining in, and don't forget to hit follow if you haven't already done so. I do stream most days around this time, and I've got a lot of exciting plans for the near future, so make sure you're following me on YouTube and TikTok. Alright guys, I will see you all next time.
Don't worry about that game. It's on the next one. Yeah, he's on the next one. Clock still ticking, yeah, his lesson just begun. Pieces hit the board and his whole heart sank. Sat there staring like, how did miss that? No prep, rush moves, played it all wrong. Thought he saw the tactic, stared at it too long. Silence in the room while he's shaking his head. Beacon maybe kept, just lives in his head. Every loss heavy when he's chasing the climb. Every wrong move had the wind back in his mind. Tells himself study, tells himself focus. But the score, she's staring back like he's hopeless. Looks at the board, barely says a breath. Man, he really threw that game to death. Yeah, they saying he a loser. Blunder like a club room loser. Trap his queen like nice maneuver. He's looking like the boy like, who even taught it? Trains every night and still forgot the structure. Wanted to play solid, ended up chaotic. Chess got dreams, but the moves look comic. Yeah, he felt his time, yeah, he played it dumb. Whole chat watching like, what's he done? But he's writing those mistakes down one by one. Next time he the one saying checkmate, son. So laugh right now, yeah, he earned that bruise.